I did it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You did it.
Mm-hmm.
Good
It's
job.
done.
Good
It's
job.
over.
I know you've been trying for a while.
That's why I'm so sweaty.
Yeah, well, if you didn't have to work for it, it wouldn't be as impressive. Now, how many legislative bodies get involved from here, I'm not totally confident. I'm not a doctor, but
I think it's the 3/5 compromise. Is that how that works?
I doubt it. I doubt it. But good pull from history class. It shows that you were engaged as a student.
No, I didn't get engaged till after school.
The second the word left my mouth, I knew that's what you were going to say.
I'm nothing if not predictable.
You're nothing.
I am nothing. I am nothing. Thanks, Dad.
Oh, shit. Speaking of Dad? Yeah, the red light's on in the corner, which means probably somebody can hear us somewhere.
Somebody?
Yeah.
Well, somebody once told me the world was going to roll me, but...
Well, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But,
well, you are a tool, but... Oh, I was watching Cops. I was watching Cops.
That's why he's sweaty, yeah.
That's why I'm sweaty.
Right.
I was watching Cops. Good job, Jackie. Way to call that. Oh, hello, random person. Oh, boy. Why does the red light always have to dictate what I do with my life?
Yeah, that's our God right there.
It is. We pray to the red light.
Remembered that the people can't see that, actually.
The people can't see you pointing?
Well, they can't see the red light, and the only we can see the red light.
Oh.
It begs the question if it's actually there or not.
It's only there if you believe.
Much to consider.
You're gonna have to wait and find out, Jackie.
Yeah, that's what this is. So welcome to the draft pot. What's it?
Yeah, that.
It's windy in here. There's too much air.
There's a lot of wind in here.
Cracks in the walls. Yeah.
Crack walls?
Those are the best kind.
Oh.
They never last, though.
Yeah. Especially if it's damp. Oh, boy. Stoop, how are you doing today?
Lovely. Albeit a bit smelly.
Oh?
Perhaps a bit itchy. Yeah, I decided today would be a good day to bathe in gasoline.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm working on the old shit box out in the garage and had to drain the fuel tank. Didn't realize, first of all, how much was in there, and second of all, how fast it was going to come out. And went ahead and just really doused myself. And the intrusive thoughts were there. My blowtorch was within eye shot. It was
eye shot.
What is the? Don't leave my
eye line.
I don't know, but I could see what I'm trying to tell you is that I thought about setting myself on fire today.
Oh.
But I didn't. No. I just smell bad, and
you just smell like you wanted to.
Yeah, that's. I smell like you know what I smell? I smell like second thoughts today. I smell like second guessing myself and not having enough conviction. That's what I smell like.
Well, that's just awesome. I should get into a candle.
Oh wait, you asked how I am, not how do I smell. That's
kind of part of it, I guess.
We should replace like, hey, how are, like, if you're not meeting in person, if it's like this, we should replace like,
hey, how do you smell?
Yeah, like when you have your next Zoom meeting at work, instead of hey, how are you? You should
how's everybody smelling today?
Hey, how's everybody smelling today? How do you smell? Have everyone describe their own smell.
That'll get the synergy going.
Yeah. Synergy, is that like a scented candle or like?
I don't know. It might be an energy company.
Sure. What kind of energy?
Sin energy.
That's the best kind.
We power on sin.
That's what actually keeps our lights on here at the Ass Studios.
It's true.
Where we both are.
We are in the same studio. Yes, very good.
What about you, bud? How you feeling?
I'm a lot better. Finally, I'm not.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
sick and
sick for like
vomiting out of all
3 weeks. It was fun.
orifices that you have. Well, that'll teach you to go to Florida.
That will actually. Don't go to Florida.
Don't go to Florida. You'll start
Just don't.
you'll lose all your insides to the
Mhm.
outside.
That's what happens.
Did you start feeling bad before you left Florida, or was it not until you got home?
Not until I got home.
Was it immediate when you got home?
That was like 2 days after.
Oh, that's too bad.
Caitlin was starting to feel bad on the plane ride home. So
Oh, okay, that's better then, because I
Yeah.
don't like that you have kind of plausible deniability as to where you contracted this virus. I like that we can pin it on Florida just as a whole.
I don't want you to be able to just have free range to pick and choose what made you feel ill.
Right.
Yeah, good, Jackie. Don't go to Florida. You'll start pissing and shitting. Got it.
Yeah,
man.
that's right. That's exactly right.
That's what we're here to teach you. If you
Yeah,
take
yeah.
anything away from this show.
Well, you're welcome, Dad. I made it almost 7 minutes without the show talking about pee or poo. So,
Oh man, and it wasn't
no
even
doubt.
you.
Yeah, it wasn't even me. See, it was. Look at the audience that we've cultivated.
Mm-hmm. That's that's our life now.
We've got mouths to feed or something.
Oh God, I hope not. That sounds like a lot of responsibility.
Well, you've got a mouth.
I do.
Feed it.
Stu, what are we doing here?
Oh, yeah. The show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, days and thems, this is Talking Out Our Ass, the only bi-weekly talk show that guarantees you're going to like the way you taste. What we do here every 2 weeks or so, we haven't done a good job of every 2 weeks in the year 2025 so far,
Yeah.
but whenever we feel, I said bi-weekly talk show. It's really just, I guess, whenever we feel like it or whenever we can get a guest to bend to our will. What we do is me and Sam and I, let's see, what's the syntax here? I don't care. I'm not writing. You're not transcribing this. We have a guest on and we don't do any preparation at all. We have the guest do the preparation. We have the guest come on and then in real time in front of you, the gorgeous viewer, we have the guest tell us what the episode's going to be about. They bring the topic that hopefully they know something about. And then me and Sam have to, oh no, that's definitely Sam and I have to formulate an interview on the spot with no prior knowledge of what we're going to be talking about. So it's a contrived kind of too simultaneously lowbrow and also too high of concept thing that you're going to be made dumber by watching. So that's the disclaimer. That's the spiel.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch from this point on, that's you can't legally blame us, I think, is how
That's
how this. Yeah, I'm not a doctor. But the next thing that typically happens after I filibuster is
you did what to Buster?
Hey, let's not think about it. Guest. You have a guest to bring on the show?
Guest.
Yeah.
Be our guest. Yeah. I do have a guest, actually. I remembered.
Good job.
I guess we'll bring on the guest. Ladies, gentlemen, theys, thems, people of the internet. Our guest this week used to write for The Athletic. He used to write for the Sun Times. He now currently is the sex icon for Sox Machine. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my best friend in the whole wide world, James Fegan. Welcome to the show, James.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the top line introduction being the place that fired me. Thank
Very
you for
publicly fired you.
Well, they didn't make it super public. I kind of did. Thank you for having me sit here for 10 minutes wondering, like, are they starting the show or are they just kind of talking to each other?
Yeah, I think the audience wonders that too.
And
that's the beauty, that's the magic.
Thank you for talking to me, because the first thing that comes is spring training is crippling loneliness as I go from a happily married man to someone living in a dark bungalow by themselves in suburban Phoenix.
Wait a minute, a bungalow? Have your employers set you up with a whole house?
It's a Airbnb. It's kind of like, I don't know. If I was like a realtor, I'd probably call it a casita.
Fancy.
But it's like a rectangle with a roof.
Wow.
A rectangle with a roof.
Well, we like geometry on this show. Yeah, I see
We love all the shapes here.
Yeah. No, I see the
Big
solar
shape show.
I see the solar death ray it kind of coming in behind you there. So I know you're telling the truth about being in Arizona, because we have guests that come on here and lie about their whereabouts, because this is the NSA's favorite podcast.
We are heavily watched.
Yeah.
They're our biggest viewer.
Yeah, I could prove I'm in Arizona in other ways. Like I'm willing to.
Nope. This is the only way.
Put a signed affidavit that a couple brought in a child to cough violently for 10 minutes straight while I was at a coffee shop earlier today. That seemed very Arizona to me.
Yeah, that's pretty much peak Arizona.
I like that children coughing is like a like a regionally specific thing.
It's regionally specific to the desert
It's like
Southwest area.
Crab cakes in Baltimore, coughing children in Arizona.
Arizona. It's on their state flag as a coughing child.
Damn, I really like that. I hope we've got a viewer out there that drafts up a new flag for the state of Arizona.
Yeah, they're gonna have a contest like Illinois did. We're gonna submit coughing.
Was the child at least covering the cough, or like were the parents trying to get the child to cover the cough? Because that's always my kind of one of my pet peeves, is when parents have kids out in the world that are just hacking, and like it's a kid, so you can't blame them for not knowing, to cover. But the parents, I expect after like one or two, I expect the parents to be like, "Hey, cover that shit, man. We're in public." Did that happen?
Not aggressively. I will say, then they had like a smaller like infant. The parents appeared to be like top 1 percentile, like exhausted people on earth. So I understand how the circumstances came to be. I don't know like what local government failure is like affecting their lives right at this moment that is not allowing them to rest or deal with things the way they would want to. So I didn't come through like this is the one failure here.
Yeah.
Led to this. Otherwise, everything would be perfect.
Well, hopefully by some kind of divine providence, they find this show, because that is generally our target demographic, is the chronically sleep deprived.
The sleep deprived and online.
Logging on to your favorite niche like socialist sports podcast, and then like the first 15 minutes they're just roasting your kid like relentlessly.
Yeah, waiting for a commentary. Hey, that was me earlier.
That's an adjective we haven't gotten explicitly assigned to us yet. I fuck with that. Cool. All right, Sam, do the hosting thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, Sean told me I'm not supposed to do that anymore. He said he wants guests to go on and never bring up their topic.
I'm capable of doing that for sure.
I'm sure Sean went 30-something minutes before he gave us his topic.
Yeah, but that was a goal, so like I don't consider that doesn't count to me if he was like doing it intentionally. You know what I mean?
That was
that's
a
like
hell of a time, though.
That's like the talking out our ass equivalent of PEDs.
True.
Somehow.
Thank you for the new moniker, Maloney.
Yes. Awesome. With it. I'm with it.
We're totally with that.
Sam's not.
All right. James, what is this interview going to be about tonight?
What do you want it to be about?
Whatever you want it to be.
No. This isn't Uno. This isn't Uno, James. You don't
There's
reverse.
No reverse cards.
Yeah.
I had some ideas in my mind. I certainly didn't have like, oh, I'm secretly like a scholar of like William Faulkner, and we're just going to discuss that for the whole time. And I didn't think like talking about baseball would be like appropriate. That'd be too on the nose.
I figured that's what you would think. so I did no preparation in terms of baseball.
You weren't going to do preparation anyway, so this is just rhetoric coming from you.
Yeah, all right. That's fair. That's fair.
I think I can speak, and I'm comfortable speaking as an expert in having a sibling who is measurably cooler than you.
A sibling who's measurably cooler than you. Well, Stoop's not in this category at all.
It's gonna make it
Or
fun.
he is, and he's not like really embracing it yet.
Oh no, it's gonna make it. This is gonna make it fun because Sam's got like 30 siblings and I've got 0.
Yeah.
And so you've got both angles here.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that's why you can't speak. I was gonna say because you're a fucking dork, but
Maybe you have
too.
a secret sibling who's like living it up like abroad.
Well, yeah, I mean, for sure, like to be sure, if I've got a sibling I don't know about out there, they're cooler than I am. That's
for sure.
True. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, having
what if they're like
siblings
the
that are
talented
cooler
Mr. Ripley, where like they're clearly like dressed, but like the murder thing kind of takes the score down a little bit.
Sam, are any of your 17 brothers, sisters, or tetrapods are any of them cooler than you?
I mean, no. Are they better at me than things? Yes. Are they cooler than me? I don't know. Define cool.
Yeah, James, define cool.
Recently, my baseball writer friends have, some of them we've gone out and like they've met my sister, and it's like people realizing that they've been drinking Diet Coke instead of the real Coke like the whole time. It's like all the things that you say are funny or like sardonic, like that we have to like eke out of you. Like this person's just firing on the surface like all the time. We don't have to deal with the person who's like scared of their own shadow. We can just talk to your sister, who has the same insights, but just is less guarded.
Just quicker, yeah. More confident, would you say?
On surface level, person to person probably comes off that way.
Yeah. Well, that's what matters.
And I write very like circumspect about well, just objectively the worst baseball team in the world.
Objectively.
Well, last year.
Well, the worst major league, the worst top shelf baseball team.
The most modern era.
We try to emphasize that, like they were among major leagues. Whereas my sister does how to describe her art. Well, one, she's an artist who has a studio in Bridgeport, but
that's already so cool.
She's her name for her artist tag name is Lavender Menace, which is a reference to lesbians in the feminist movement. I want to say 60s. It's what I want to say. I don't want to get it wrong, but like Betty Friedan, like who was trying to like keep the lesbians out of the feminist movement, tagged them as the Lavender Menace. So that's like her handle. She's got this logo that I put in my water bottle.
Yeah, well, you've already made the case. She's so much cooler than you.
She like has this like lavender diamond tattoo on her arm. I don't have any tattoos because I don't have any good ideas. But just like growing up,
what do you like to eat? I'll give you some ideas.
Just growing up, like it was interesting to go to like my mother's adult friends and stuff like that, and like she introduces us to her friends, are like, these are my children and whatnot, and it's like, oh, here's Jimmy, he gets really good grades, and here's Angela, she's or like has an artist scholarship this or and is doing all these things. And like I would just like, I get like a cursory like how's it going question, and then it's like listening to my sister talk for like 45 minutes.
Here's
like,
my son, he's a fucking nerd.
Command the attention of like all these doctors while I like I asked if I can go in the other room and like put the game on.
That's so awesome. Now, is your sister older or younger than you? What's
older.
the gap?
She's it's like under 3 full years, but she was 3 grades ahead.
Okay, so she's a senior and you're a freshman in high school.
Exactly.
And how'd that go? Was there any overlap? Did that have any effect on your high school experience?
She went to a different high school. So she went to Whitney Young. And after she had started schools when they opened Walter Payton, and my mother was like insistent, like, you should try to go there. Like, I think when it was first opening up, it was like, oh, the students get laptops and stuff like that, which probably led to a lot of Payton kids getting jumped walking back to the train when we didn't have any laptops. But yeah, so we didn't like overlap directly in that regard. But I definitely thought her school was like cooler than mine, since mine was like half full and full of like super nerds, and hers was just full of regular nerds.
Yep.
So my wife is also she's in the same grade as my sister because she went to high school with her. I met my wife through my sister. At my sister's behest, because
otherwise you never would have talked to a woman.
Right. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right. Yeah. Now I can tell. Yeah. For sure.
Not once. That's why I got into baseball.
You didn't. I mean, I feel like that was just implied.
I was like, what's the most like 1950s gender role like industry I can get into?
Right. What's the least sexy thing I could write about?
Right.
Yeah.
What's something where we're both like, women will be like intimidated out of the industry, and also like the work will not interest any women either. Like in that.
Or men for that matter.
Yeah.
What'll make people see me and go, oh, hi.
Anything baseball is dying. I went to like a play this weekend. Like everyone there like was over 70, I feel.
Okay, to be fair.
Wait, was it a matinee?
It was.
There's one factor, but to be fair, you're in Arizona. And generally, maybe this is just a generalization, but I think that most people that are going to a play have to be able to read. And
I flew to Arizona yesterday. This was on Super Bowl Sunday. The Goodman Theater was not full of the kids as much as I anticipated.
So did you not watch the Super Bowl, or you watched a matinee and then you went home and watched? Okay.
Exactly.
What'd you see?
I think it was called Fat Ham.
Never heard
it was like I think literally is described as like a black queer interpretation of Hamlet. And I would have to say, watching that with a room full of like 70-year-old white people, very, very
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It's probably very similar to how people reacted to Kendrick Lamar's halftime shows.
The overlap on the Venn diagram's probably strong. No doubt.
The people in that room who saw that play and then watched Kendrick Lamar's halftime show were probably just like, I'm overwhelmed. I've encountered so much today that
this has really been a day. Yeah,
I need a week to recover from what's going on.
Sam felt the same way.
This is too much culture for me.
Yeah,
I need to go lay down.
Way too much seasoning. Sam didn't watch the second half of the game because he was boiling chicken.
Yeah,
boiling it, not seasoning it.
Nope, not even salt. So were you like the little brother who would always like try to poke at your sister and like get a rise out of her, or like try to embarrass her in front of her friends because you thought she was cooler than you?
No, like attached at the hip and like being asked to leave the room. Sort of a little brother, like strolling in like here it's playtime, and like she's got like 2-3 friends like hanging over, and they're like, why are you here? That was more the move.
Like,
nice.
I'm bored. I just want to do stuff, guys. Like,
yeah. What well, I was gonna ask if any of her friends were hot, but obviously you married one, so that's a stupid question. Go ahead.
Well, like, yeah.
Her other friends were.
So, like, I want to say she came out when I was like 14 or 15, maybe
Okay.
sooner than that. She was president of like the Gay Pride Club in high
Okay.
school.
Good for her. Hell yeah.
So a lot of the people she's bringing over are like, that looks different. That's interesting.
I think that's the most PC way you could have put that, which is what we care about here on this YouTube channel.
Yes. Very
No
much
doubt.
so.
Well, let's be like, she played tennis, and so bringing over someone who's like clearly like very athletic, and it's like, oh, you're friends because they're so great on the tennis team. It's like, no, that's not the reason.
Well, you might be in part.
It's a contributing factor.
Yeah, it's not a non-factor.
Like,
so wait, so you both
there are
played
aesthetic
tennis,
reasons
right?
I wasn't picked up on. Yes. The like, I can't even imagine. Like, I played high school tennis. I played varsity, and then I went to Notre Dame, which not the cleanest line of logic decision, but I wasn't like a star athlete or anything. I was a good high school tennis player. The level to which like my sister's tennis coaches treated me going to another school as like our family betraying them, I was not prepared for.
Really? What do you mean by that?
Like my dad's like bringing, like, he's the ultimate super parent, bringing like waters and snacks to like every practice of my sister, and then like her senior year, or especially after she graduated, and like going over the Whitney Young, and he's thinking it's going to be like a hi hello, and it's just like, all right, you're on the other side now, type of treatment.
Jeez,
It's like,
that's intense.
This is high school tennis.
Is part of her being cooler than you? Was she better than you at tennis? Is she better than you at tennis?
No, because being good at tennis isn't cool. So that was where
okay, fair enough.
I had that advantage.
Fair enough.
So while she was busy being cool, you were perfecting tennis.
I was really good. She had was playing with blue hair. She was providing.
Right. She was the rebel. She was the what's the female equivalent of like Johnny McEnroe? Like she's the bad boy, the bad girl of tennis.
Who is the bad girl of tennis?
It's a great question. I'm gonna have to think about that.
I'm
trying to sell. I'm trying to sell Sam on the idea of watching tennis. Because I will, if it's on television, I'll absolutely watch it. I find it very entertaining, and it's captivating. If it's on, I'm going to watch it. But the way that I've been trying to sell him on watching it is that Nick Kyrgios is returning this year, or so he says, and that there's no greater for my money. There's no reality television better in terms of just ridiculous histrionics than watching that guy play a match.
Baseball needs more openly unstable people.
Thank you. But the problem is that when baseball gets those people, they're hardline Christian conservatives, and it's just like nobody's as interested in that, because it's like, well, we already know everything you're going to say. We already know all your opinions and positions and stuff. We need someone unstable whose political leanings are unclear and not the focus. Baseball. Sam always says baseball needs more Milton Bradleys.
Yeah, toxic views are one thing, but you can't fill the ballpark with that.
Exactly.
I want equal chance 6 quality innings, or we all witness a psychotic episode.
Yes. Or who was the pitcher back in the day who talked to himself and shit on the mound, openly back in I don't know, it was the 70s.
Like Doc Ellis? Because he was on acid, or
well, we need more pitchers on acid. Oh wait, never. Not you, Clevenger. Let's see. I think I asked a couple questions, Sam.
Well, I told you I'd get into tennis as long as I'm allowed to go to Wimbledon and yell
Yes.
people.
Well, I think that's good. I think everyone. I don't understand why tennis is a sport where everyone is silent before the. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, should be yelling while they're hitting.
It's
It's not
right.
distracting at all, right, James?
I never saw it as like a big issue.
There we go.
It's just like
Well, that's because no one was watching you.
right, but like I
There's
I don't know,
just
I played-
one guy
I played-
watching him yelling at him. And
I
it's
play
his
like
dad.
junior high basketball. People are screaming. Like it doesn't,
Yeah.
change things too much.
Exactly. So I've just never we talked about this as some time ago that I just don't understand why. I get golf. Like golf is one person is out there and you have to really concentrate on the shot you're going to hit. So I get why people are quiet for that. Tennis, it never made any sense to me why the referee or umpire, whatever they call it, needs the crowd to all be silent before anybody hits the ball. I don't see how it could affect that's just me.
The scoring system of tennis is a wet fart.
Yeah, you get used to it. It's very British. I assume.
French.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
That makes just as much sense. It's nonsensical.
Learn your tennis facts, nerd. Come on.
So would your sister know that fact, James? Because that's a pretty nerdy fact, and that would make
I
her
imagine
cooler.
we went to the same tennis camp, so
tennis camp.
it's like a day camp thing, basically.
Wow. Is there a third sibling?
Do you want to count various dogs? Otherwise, no.
Those dogs might be cooler than both of
They
you because both of you
probably
went
are
to
cooler.
tennis camp. So that's what I'm getting at here.
I mean, most of the dogs you'd have would probably be very excited about tennis camp, though also
That's true.
very disruptive.
Yeah.
Which
Likely.
would be cooler. Sabotaging a day of tennis camp would be very cool behavior.
It would be.
Mm.
Now, when did you feel like the shift that you're like, oh man, my sister's so much cooler than me? Was it like early on?
When I gained sentience, I think.
So like 7th grade, 8th grade. You're just kind of an NPC before that.
She taught me how to read, and she also just before I started school had me like not do her homework, but like, hey, this is what my homework is. You should redo it. Like you should do the same workbooks I did. So like she had this whole like training institution going on with me. I'd say like until like 2nd grade, like everything they put in front of me I had seen before because she was just making me practice it before I got into school.
Can she teach Sam how to read?
Doubtful.
I don't think she will though.
Fair.
That's very fair.
Yeah, I won't either.
Nobody is, and that's why I'm struggling. But we'll get there.
Yeah, it's everyone else's fault. Typical.
It's not going to be my fault. Now, I'm the youngest of 5 siblings, so
I thought it was 17.
it's somewhere in there. 5 that I remember, at least. There was a lot of people in and out of our house, but I always looked up to my older brothers and stuff, but I never like just said I was like, you might be cooler than me. It was like, it's more like I don't want to end up like you. So it's kind of a reverse for you. It's like, oh, my sister's cooler than me. That's good. That she can't look at you and be like, damn, I have to get cooler. Or does she feel that way now that you're a hot shot writer?
I don't think our paths seem can be like replicated by the other one. Like when I'm like early in high school, do I think like I can become the coolest lesbian in my high school if I follow her? No, I didn't really think
I did.
so.
I thought that.
I have no artistic ability whatsoever. I can't draw. Like obviously writing could be art, but like
Yeah.
just like the level of like technical skill in art class, like because she's 3 years ahead of me, we're in the same school. Like I'll listen to like my art teacher like talk about like her as like this generational talent that she's never encountered before and doesn't think she'll be fortunate enough to see again. And then it's like, why can't you draw a straight line to me?
To be fair, I can't either. So I hear you.
True.
Like multiple things that my sister made would be like hung up in the art room, like next to like some like Monet like replica that they have up. One time my sister did like a pencil drawing of me that she hung up, that was hung up in the art room. And some like kindergartner, a boy kindergartner, the art teacher like made a point of letting me know, kissed the lips of the drawing as it was hanging up on the wall. And me as like a fifth grader, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this information other than to be confused, horrified, generally put it ill at ease.
And that's pretty cool.
And they're like, well, why did he do that? And it's like, well, I just think like she drew the lips so full, there was so much color. And I'm like, well, what does this mean for me?
This is making it worse.
What am I supposed to do with this information? How am I supposed to live my life now going on?
How do I move forward from this?
And like bringing it to like Angela, like, you know, you have to do something about this, and her just being like, that's interesting.
Now, can your sister write at all? Because maybe you've at least got that to hold over her.
Yeah, I think she can. She doesn't very frequently.
Well, I tried.
She's always having me like proofread her artist statements, and she's like, frustrated or unhappy with them or something like that. I'm like, this is so much more concise than anything I write. Like, it's very direct and descriptive. I don't know what your problem is here.
Well, she doesn't have word count quotas to meet. It's a different skill set. Especially if you're talking about the White Sox, it's if you were to be.
Do people think my writing's long because there's a quota? No, that's because I can't like express myself directly.
That's okay too. I've been accused of having that problem, believe it or not. And it's tough. It's tough to be concise because if you were to be concise talking about the White Sox, I think that every article would just say the same thing. And that'd be tough.
Baseball was played.
Like if it's concise, it's like they're bad, and whereas my style is like they're bad. But look, expanding upon that.
But look, there's a silver lining somewhere.
If there is
a silver lining, just there's a line. There's additional lining. There's more information.
Additional lining, yes. There's layers.
There's copper wiring somewhere.
Yeah. I think if Sox Machine doesn't have an official slogan yet, that should be it. Which is just they're bad, but look,
they're bad, but look.
Trademark.
Stoops nothing if not he's an idea, man.
Idea. I've got ideas. Writers out there, you come to me. I've got ideas. They're great ideas. Well, I can't speak to the quality of the ideas. I've got ideas. What else is it that you think? I mean, honestly, you've made a strong enough case that I'm running out of angles to get this from, because I think you're probably right that your sister's cooler than you. What else can you give us that makes you feel that way, though, if anything?
All right. Let's see. Her most recent Instagram post is a poster she made. She prints out posters from this like manual press machine that she has in her studio because she has a MFA in printmaking.
Very cool.
Let's see one of them. Well, like the first one is just very straight up. It says, "Our president is the enemy of the people and all global citizens." I'm extremely hyped about a very vague, like, Mannequin Pussy lyric reference I snuck into an article today. But she's more direct and more
Yeah.
confident.
Sure. Both of those things are cool, to be fair to you.
I mean, I thought it was the coolest thing I've done all year, but she's a bit more shoot from the hip.
Has anyone caught it? Has anyone said anything to you about it?
I certainly don't think Jim recognized it, but if he did, I'd be thrilled.
You'd think if someone was going to notice it, it would have been Jim.
Yeah, the coolest thing you can do is try to impress your boss.
That's
How you stay on top.
I wonder if Angela's ever tried to impress a boss, like legitimately.
Does she have a boss?
No.
I was
Way
gonna say,
cooler.
that makes her cooler.
Way cooler than you. I mean, just wow. Yeah, I get it.
I don't like having a boss because like bosses are bad. I like not being the person who has to like make decisions or like has to have confidence in what we're doing. I like very much like that was my assignment and I did it. If it goes wrong from there, I'm off the clock.
That's on you.
Yep.
Very much the ethos of this show as well.
Mhm.
We don't like.
I don't like being like,
either.
oh, when should the article run? When will like it hit like maximum traffic? I like being more like, well, it's filed, so don't really care anymore.
Not my problem. I wrote the thing. That's all I had to do.
Is anyone going to read it? Not my department.
Not my problem. Yeah.
I'm not the reader guy. I'm the writer guy.
I'm the writing department, not the reading department.
Oh, my wife asked a good question. Would it have, do you wish you had more siblings, or would it have been more pressure to be the coolest? Or
I don't like.
Oh, Arizona.
Hmm.
Oh no.
It
The
got
sun.
you hot.
The sun has melted the internet.
Uh-oh.
I think he's intimidated. That's what I think.
Personally,
Yeah, this is too big a stage.
he's not used to this kind of thing.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
I really gotta pee.
Good thing we have intermission.
Yeah, that's what this is. He was just he's thinking ahead. Yeah. Yeah, no internet in the casita. Also,
yeah.
Also no lighting, apparently.
Oh,
There's his employer put him up in the Airbnb, but they don't pay the electric bill. So you get shelter, but you don't get electricity.
You had to pay extra for the electricity.
Right.
You don't need anything in there, right?
Doesn't seem that far fetched.
No, it doesn't.
In Joe Biden's America.
Man, he was so pressed about thinking about having more siblings. He's like, I can't even be here anymore.
Yeah, it was overwhelming to the whole system. So overwhelming to him emotionally that the internet felt it. It was an electromagnetic pulse that he put out.
Shouldn't have trusted my wife to ask a question.
That's what it was really her fault.
She broke everything.
Really her fault. Yeah.
Too powerful of a question. We need to go to our questions that are stupid and have no substance.
That's right. Well, I've got substances. Is she still sick?
She's, I don't know. She's like better, than she's worse, and then she's bad. So she's, yes, I guess.
So she's being a woman about it.
Is it his sister cut the internet? She's actually a spy.
That would be so much cooler, though.
That would be pretty cool move.
It just seems everything we hear, she just keeps getting cooler.
She has her own art studio in Bridgeport.
You really feel like you're the coolest of five?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Uh-oh, he heard
Oh,
me.
he's back. Arizona didn't get him. All right.
It's not even hot out here today.
Well, it's the sun. I don't know if you know. The sun, pretty hot.
Historically,
yeah. I mean, at least that's what they tell us.
Not when we're done with it.
That's right.
Everything will be brought to heel by the American Empire.
Well, yeah, we thought your sister went and got you. You know, she cut the internet out of the casita.
Right, because she's a spy.
I mean, another element I would say to her coolness is that she probably has no idea that I'm doing this.
Not on her radar at all. That's definitely makes her a lot cooler.
I don't think she's like been on Twitter in like several years.
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Good idea.
That means your life is like fulfilling enough, you know, in the real world that you don't need to engage in the whatever kind of reality you would call Twitter.
Yeah. But James, what other siblings have made you have pressure to be cooler even more?
What do you mean by that?
Like other siblings? Like secret siblings?
If you had other siblings. Or do you wish you had more siblings, I guess was the question.
Oh, that's where we
no, because like it's a really close relationship with one sibling, and I wonder like what sort of hierarchy like has to shake out if it's not just like 1-to-1. Because I think like most fundamentally, like I'm being coy and making lots of jokes about what experiences I think are funny growing up, but like it's like, all right, these are two different people, and not like once you get like 3, it's like, all right, one's clearly dragging behind the others.
How positive are you that would be you?
Not positive. I think there are disappointments in our family that are of a scale that like neither me and my sister are really in danger of getting close to.
Let's name them.
They're from like other generations, I would feel.
Okay.
Like none at no point were any of like was the top line descriptor for me or my sister were a mean drunk. And I don't think everyone in my family could say that. I think at some point, like at least for some people it passed on, that's still like the top line of their resume. And for other people, they faded in and out of like that being maybe the most helpful descriptor, the one line like preview of how to encounter them.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I mean, Sam hasn't been drunk in like 2 years. That's still the top line for him.
Yep,
and he used to beat me.
Like even like for some people, it'd be like a mean drunk, and then like second like electrician or like father, like so
mean drunk Christian father.
Right, that would be back in the golden age of Twitter bios.
Girl dad,
yeah.
Girl dad, yeah.
Abusive drunk girl dad.
And they got the camo hat on and the sunglasses in the truck profile picture.
But enough about Sam's social media.
Damn right. I'm gonna change my bio after this.
Do you think there's a conceivable timeline where you could bridge some of the gap or cover some, like get a little bit closer to her on the coolness scale here?
She's older, so 2 years and change. So obviously, on one hand, if she dies in like a really cool way, there's just like no way to make up the ground.
Probably will. Sounds like, yeah.
Like if she goes out like blowing up a bank, like it's kind of game over, right?
Because you're just saying on record now for the NSA that you're not willing to do such a thing.
It's just like
no, he's just not willing to die that way.
Okay, yeah. She's after the 72 virgins.
The fuse will only blow if one of us like is there to hold it, and I'm like, we'll do this. We'll try again tomorrow. And
yeah.
I don't know. It seems like a bad idea.
But theoretically, that extra years would give me like time to make up ground, right?
Okay.
There you go.
Does it though? I mean, I just like so I think
your best cool behavior is not like between ages 80 and 85 like most.
Well, that's a good point too. But I'm thinking if it's like if it's like a counting stat like WAR, like like 2.5 years is with the discrepancy that exists now, I'm not sure you can make that up.
Right. It's a challenge for sure. You have to like have a sneaky like late career peak season. Some sort of like cool PEDs so for a Bonzian run when you're too old to really be doing anything, but somehow cooler than ever.
That's right.
Maybe
Like a
taking PEDs would literally be great. You're like,
There you go.
He doesn't make as much like radical queer feminist art, but he's fucking jacked. I mean,
He's fucking swole as hell.
Strong
Like,
as
you seen the veins on this dude? Like, he's fucking mass. What a unit that dude is. This dude snaps like 7 pens when he's writing his articles because he's
just so strong. That's James Endgold being the most jacked beat writer out there.
That's right.
It's like, this exhibit of Angela's art is really cool. James put all the bricks up himself to hang to build the wall that she hung it on.
That's right. He didn't even need a ladder. He just jumped up there. Just kind of Spider-Man'd up the wall and stuck it up there.
Yeah, getting exposed to toxic radiation, that could be a late life thing that
you can always do that.
Rating.
It's never too late to do that. That's true.
Or too early.
It's like, Angel's pretty cool, but James sneezed and 3 of his teeth flew out of his mouth. So it's pretty sweet.
Cool. Pretty cool.
He didn't get any superpowers or anything. He's just falling apart.
One of them stuck in the wall like a dagger. That was like amazing.
It's still there. We left it there.
Yeah.
Now your sister would just turn that into an art exhibit, and then she'd be cooler again.
You would have to just write out. You'd have to start charging people to come look at the wall tooth immediately.
It's a natural wall tooth.
Although I don't
There's
know
a lot
if
of plaque on this tooth. It's not that cool.
Yeah, or like I don't know if you're being if you're charging admission, if you're being a capitalist about it, maybe that doesn't make you any cooler. That's a joke, NSA.
Trying to make capital gains on my tooth.
We love Elon.
Yeah, that's why we pay for his services.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
James has abysmal labor conditions at the museum of his tooth. Like his radioactive tooth.
We've got a whole venue for the tooth now. It's not just like a random house or apartment.
A whole venue, but not guaranteed health insurance. So
perfect. Just the way we like it.
He's back down at the bottom.
Just the way we like it.
He went from being so cool with the toxic radiation and then just went to his head.
He really let that toxic radiation go to his head.
He became toxic. Toxic man in a toxic work environment. But now, Jay, have you provided any sort of ideas for your sister's art studio at all? Like
ideas?
What she should try or what she can like put in there, or anything that you have an eye for that you should be like, hey, you should put this in there. That could make you a little bit cooler if help her scout some art.
No, that'd be a terrible fucking idea. That I can't help her at all.
She ever helped you write an article?
Yeah, probably in some at least in terms of like idea generation. But she'll make things for me, I guess. Like when was that like a meme like 2-3 years ago of shut the fuck up about Chicago?
Oh yeah.
So she printed out a vinyl sticker that I put on my water bottle that said STFU about Chicago on it with the Bannerman logo that you guys have
that's cool.
craftily repurposed.
Thank you so much. Tell
So,
Sam it's better than his logo.
people think I have like this dope water bottle, but it's like this thing she made me, and then on top of that, I lost it. It's the point where I was like going to like some weird Midwestern city to cover an AL Central series. Like, oh yeah, the water bottle is just floating around Cleveland somewhere.
It's in the river.
Yeah, well, likely. Yeah, I mean, this is I can relate because this is why I just consume copious amounts of microplastics in polluting disposable water bottles, because I would just lose if I had the reusable one. I'd lose it. I'd lose it immediately. Yeah, I'm the kid that left his coat on the bus and several backpacks and all kinds of shit. There was a year that my mom said, I'm just not buying you another winter coat. You're just going to be cold, motherfucker, because you had one. I don't know what you did.
I'm going to get arrested for child endangerment, so you learn a lesson.
Look, and fair enough, fair enough.
My wife bought me, she bought me both like a strap to wear the water bottle like across me to like not lose it, and also got like
cool. That's cool.
This new one that like has like this little compartment at the bottom, and with the idea that I would put an air tag in it to keep track of it.
Now that becomes an expensive water bottle,
right?
Right.
Anyway.
But I said like this made me feel like I was clipping my mittens to my winter coat again.
I did that, and then I left the whole bundle on the school bus.
Just like, what's wrong with that? It's very useful.
I don't know though, because it might not be.
I was like, because it shows I can't function without it. It's like saying to everyone,
you're admitting defeat, and that's not cool.
Hey, wear this water bottle belt. Everyone will think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it could be though. Like if you had like a design, like if you had a Gucci like crossbody water bottle strap. Yeah,
Yeah, she got me a very nice. Like I'm not like
it's velour.
It's not velour or anything, but like it doesn't look like tied to me like a one of those beer barrels on a dog or something, or like a bell on a cat. Like it looks functional, but it's just like this is admitting failure to me.
That the beer barrel, that's an idea. You just do like a necklace, or a collar or a necklace, and you attach the water bottle to that.
Yeah,
they definitely should have the dog with a beer barrel like in a baseball team's dugout. Like I think that
I agree.
Somebody like pulls up like their hamstring on their like crumpled past first base line. Like sure, the trainer like jogging out, but I think the dog with the beer barrel like running out would be. That would really lift the spirits.
That is such an unbelievably like specifically traumatized White Sox viewer. This scenario you described. Like, yeah, that totally common thing when everyone gets hurt running to first base.
Like, wouldn't it steal your nerves a little bit to see like Luis Robert? Like, you're worried how many months he's gonna miss after like he pulled up and grabbed his hip again, but like. He's enjoying a beer and like petting a dog while he does
but
it.
There's a giant a Saint Bernard comes out there and like starts licking his face while he's like writhing in pain. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, can't be upset when that's going on.
The last one for me is I'm contractually obligated to ask is the human race redeemable?
For who? Like to themselves? Because, like, I think if you're coming from outside
the human race,
right? You look at it like I almost think like like NBA advanced statistics. You're just like looking at the Earth with like on-off court numbers with humans. You're like, I don't think there are any lineups where they really work. They kind of they dominate the ball.
Like we should trade Luka because
right, like. The usage rate's insane. We're not getting anyone else involved. The locker room's a mess.
The culture just needs an overhaul.
There's ability here, but I don't think it'll work on our squad. Like, let's see what the market is. But like, I could see this being a buyout situation, like extremely easily.
That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting to be we're just stalling until we're bought out. by a greater entity.
Yep.
The human race, that is.
The human race is James, and the higher entity is his sister.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, great. Good way to tie it all up neatly, Sam.
That's what I do best.
That's why we give you the big bucks.
That's why they don't pay me.
Right.
I was trying to think of like a comp or player I thought they put points on the board, but they're really not contributing to winning.
Vooch.
I think
Yeah.
Vooch is like the modern day. For some reason I really want to go to like when the Bulls like had Ron Mercer as their top scorer.
Oh
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Oh boy.
You fucking hate yourself. I mean, holy shit. That's the first name that popped into your head?
Humanity really feels like Bulls Ron Mercer to me.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that.
Nope. Pretty spot on. Excellent. That's an excellent comp. I love it. Well, James, I don't have any more questions for you, but that was the final one that we tend to ask every guest. But is there anything you want to plug while you're here?
I'm here for Sox Machine. Please subscribe. I know we'll be like debuting a new website at some point, so the subscribing will probably look a little different, but please keep us employed. I've loved being employed. I've loved like not having the anxiety of being unemployed. You mentioned the Sun Times. Like obviously like 2023 wasn't like a great year for like the Earth. Or for like my
they
confidence
rarely
in
are.
myself.
Yeah.
But like I went from like working all the time to working 3 days a week, and my old jobs paid out my contract for the year. Being like an adult in your mid 30s and you have like your job
Free
pays
time.
you, but you don't have to go to it. I was like going to movies at 11 a.m. I was shortening my life with takeout orders on a regular basis. Like, sure, I felt sad and depressed, but like the things I were doing were highly enjoyable. Like,
yeah. Your sister would have done way cooler stuff with that time and money.
Yeah, like I mean, given that she doesn't have like an office job she has to go to, she's like going to her studio and making art as opposed to
way cooler stuff. Yeah,
drinking a milkshake and like watching Killers of the Flower Moon at like 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
like, obviously.
Yeah, that movie sucked though.
That's a depressing man.
It was so long that I got charged extra on parking. That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like I can be as cool as my sister. Let me begin my rant about parking validation, not holding for over 4 hours.
I was just gonna let that one just.
And that's why Killers of the Flower Moon gets 1 star.
that movie sucked.
I want my $35 back.
Ooh.
35? What in the what?
It's a freaking Alamo Draft House at Wrigleyville.
Oof.
Yeah, nothing.
Don't park there for 4.5 hours. If I can give you one recommendation,
don't park there. Well, thank you so much for joining us, James. Really appreciate you coming on and doing this with us. For us, we will be here on Thursday for AskCast, the Valentine's Day edition. So tune in for that. We'll have some fun things going on that night. And then we'll be back next Thursday for that. So until then, we'll see you guys. And thank you so much for watching and commenting along. You all have a good night.